Good evening, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news of this evening, St. Elizabeth police probing death of New York pensioner found unresponsive at a guest house. The police in St. Elizabeth are probing the death of an elderly American man whose body was found unresponsive at a guest house in Black River. He has been identified by the police as 85-year-old pensioner Carlton Roberts of a Mount Vernon, New York address. Roberts was reportedly at the guest house about 6:50 p.m. on Wednesday when he became unresponsive. He was transported to the Black River Hospital where he was pronounced dead. The news understands no marks of violence were observed on his person. The U.S. officials in Jamaica have been informed about the matter. Man shot and killed in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. A man was gunned down in Stony Hill, St. Andrew this morning. He has been identified only as Rohan. The shooting occurred about 7:30 along Seaview Road. The Constant Spring police are investigating. He is the younger brother of Orville Marvin Denny, who was fatally shot by the police in February in St. Thomas. As of July 12, murders in the St. Andrew North Police Division had declined year to date. There were 19 homicides compared to 33 for the corresponding period in 2024. This represents a 42% decline. INDECOM probing police killing of 3 men in St. Catherine. The Independent Commission of Investigations is probing 3 police fatal shootings that occurred in Spanish Town, St. Catherine this morning. The incidents reportedly took place at different locations. The news was told that the first incident took place in De La Vega City about 5:45 a.m. The second incident reportedly happened in New Nursery about 5:50 a.m. and the third in Damhead about 6:10 a.m. The deceased men have not been identified, however sources say they are linked to a gang. Reports are that the men were killed during alleged confrontations with the police. The police say a firearm was recovered in each incident. INDECOM was subsequently informed. As at July 15, INDECOM was probing 173 fatalities at the hands of the police. A total of 189 persons were killed by the police all of last year, 2024. Policeman charged for shooting death of bus conductor in Spanish Town granted $800,000 bail. A policeman who shot and killed a bus conductor at the park in Spanish Town, St. Catherine 5 years ago has been charged with murder. Constable Jimoki Ingram was charged following a ruling by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. Ingram was charged on Tuesday and brought before the St. Catherine Parish Court, where he was granted bail in the sum of $800,000 with surety. Ingram, who was represented by attorney-at-law Per Rogers, was ordered to return to court on October 7, when the matter will again be mentioned. The policeman is charged in connection with the death of 24-year-old bus conductor Alex Needham, otherwise called Alexi. Allegations are that around 6:15 p.m. on July 1, 2020, Ingram, who was attached to the Spanish Town police station, was on duty at the bus park when Needham was accosted. It is further alleged that a physical tussle ensued between them, during which Needham was shot by the constable. He later died. During the incident, the policeman was reportedly attacked and chopped on the hand with a machete by Needham's father, who was later charged with wounding with intent but was freed in court in November 2023. Following Needham's death, an investigation was launched and a file was compiled and sent to the ODPP, which resulted in Ingram being charged with murder. The police in St. Anne are investigating the death of a 68-year-old woman who succumbed to injuries she sustained in a crash on Tuesday. The deceased has been identified as Shirley Phillips of Port Antonio, Portland. Reports are that about 7:15 p.m., Phillips was a passenger in a Honda BRV motor car. Upon reaching a section of the main road in Prairie, there was a collision between the car and the truck. Phillips was injured and assisted to the hospital where she was admitted. She later died while being treated. The 23-year-old driver of the truck has been warned for prosecution. Maintenance man charged with murder in Montego Bay. A 40-year-old maintenance worker has been charged with murder after allegedly stabbing a man and fleeing the scene. Carlton Greaves of Danieltown, Trelawney, was charged following a Me Too incident in Montego Bay, which resulted in the death of 41-year-old Damian Campbell, a welder of Maroontown, St. James. Reports from the Montego Bay police are that about 7 p.m., Greaves and Campbell were engaged in a heated argument which became physical. During the exchange, Greaves allegedly pulled a knife and used it to stab Campbell in the chest before fleeing the scene. Campbell was assisted to hospital where he was admitted in critical condition. The matter was reported to the police on May 3 and Campbell died on May 16 while undergoing treatment. Greaves was arrested during an operation in the Montego Bay Transport Center last Friday. He was subsequently charged on Wednesday after he allegedly confessed to the crime during an interview in the presence of a justice of the peace. His court date is being finalized. Man on bail held charged with murder. A man currently before the courts for a separate shooting incident has been charged with murder in connection with the killing of a teenager in Kingston last year. Rohan Denton, otherwise known as a Baby Ro, a 27-year-old resident of Metcalf Road in Kingston 13, was charged with the murder of 17-year-old Syed Mitchell, also known as a Breda. Both men are from the same community. The fatal shooting occurred around 8:40 p.m. on Friday, November 15, 2024. Reports indicate that Mitchell was standing with others when a white Honda Fit drove up. A man exited the vehicle, approached Mitchell, and shot him multiple times in the upper body before escaping in the car. Residents rushed the injured teen to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was later pronounced dead. Denton was taken into custody after reporting to the Hunts Bay Police Station a requirement of his bail conditions in an unrelated case involving shooting at the police. Police arrested and charged him based on information from an eyewitness and a subsequent question and answer session. Firearm seized, man charged after shots fired in Majestic Gardens. A man who reportedly fired several shots in the air in Majestic Gardens, St. Andrew, was arrested minutes later when police showed up in the community. The accused, 35-year-old Dwayne Thompson, otherwise called the Brown Man, from Trafalgar Road in the community, was detained after he was reportedly found with an illegal weapon. Thompson has since been charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and the possession of prohibited ammunition. Reports indicated that around 6 a.m. on Tuesday, police on mobile patrol went to the area after residents reported that a man was firing gunshots into the air. The police team carried out inquiries and subsequently went to an open lot where a hut was searched and the suspect was found inside with a bag across his chest. He was accosted and searched, and the weapon, a gray and black Beretta pistol with a magazine containing 8 to 9 mm rounds, was found inside the bag. The weapon was seized and Thompson was taken into custody. He was charged on Wednesday. Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.